Ronald Reagan says, peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when and where you are watching it from. This is Teacher's Professional Daily Devotion, Professional Daily Devotion. And this morning we continue our series on empathy. We are looking at empathy in conflict resolution. Probably before we move on, let me quickly appeal. If you are watching us on Facebook, please kindly share this, kindly comment. Okay. When we started with about, at a goal, we had about 400 views and then days to keep on increasing. But now, I think if we check the last one, I probably were struggling with 100 to 120. That is, has even gotten to 100. Please kindly share. I feel share, comment. Okay. Let's hear you. Okay. And then if you have any suggestion on how we can also go viral with this or do it better, please, I won't mind. Of course, trust me, we love feedback. I personally love feedback. And LinkedIn, thank you so much. We are doing not too bad there, but we can still be far better there. And YouTube, thank you. YouTube, thank you. Thank you. 14 views. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Yeah, I know I'm going to solve my conflict with any of you. So we are looking at it now. Empathy in conflict resolution. See, most people think of conflict as something to avoid, something to suppress, or something to defeat. No, conflict is an opportunity for you to strengthen relationships. It's an opportunity for you to build trust, and it's an opportunity for you to create new possibilities. See, most of my relationships, very solid ones anyway, I discovered that came out of conflict. Like, it became better after a conflicting scenario, like, okay, no, I do not agree with it. So conflict is just a normal thing in life. You don't need to avoid it. So because you are gentle, no, learn how to just overcome it. See, there are about 2 or 3 dimensions of conflict. You can conflict with your own personal value. That's conflict within a man. You can conflict outside. That means a man versus man. And you can conflict with the environment or the system. So it's just normal. Your value will not just be accepted all the time. There will be one thing we want to that will be different. So how do we handle conflict? Like, can we be looking for trouble? Okay. But when trouble comes to you, when somebody clashes with you, how do you handle it? Is it about winning or avoiding? No. You can transform that tension into trust. And we're going to be looking at the framework trust this morning. TRUST. TRUST. The first thing is take a step back before reacting. We call it the power of emotional distance, where you don't want to jump to pick your phone and start sending that message. Okay. You can be seen in the wrong way at the end of the day. So the application there is that before you respond, step away mentally or physically. Okay. I remember seeing my first son in an argument with someone very hot. For the first time I'm seeing him that way, I'm shouting, "Why will you do this? Why will you do this?" And I just came there. I was like, step back, because I wouldn't know what. And the person had to come and appreciate me. That thank you for saving me from him. I don't know what will have happened. Okay, so take a step back. Okay, take a step back. Then identify. Ask yourself this question: Am I reacting out of ego or genuine concern? Am I really reacting? Am I putting myself in the shoe of the other person? Am I reacting because my ego was crushed? Yeah, there's possibility of you wanting to reinstate your ego anyway. And then what is my goal? Is it just for connection or for confrontation? Is it because you want to do things better or you just want to confront it? I'm going to show you. I'm going to really show you today. So there are reasons why you can do that anyway, but you just need to be very careful. So the first step is what? Take a step back. The second one is recognize the root cause, okay, beyond the surface disagreement. Okay, most of the time it should be you and that person together versus the problem. But most of the time we don't really look at the root cause of the problem. We just jump to react. So if you can find the root cause of the problem, most of the time your reaction will not be the reaction you want to take. That's empathy there. Most conflicts are not about what they seem. Yeah, I've had issues to I listen to probably listen to people clearly and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was really like this." So what people argue about is often the symptom, not the deeper frustration, misunderstanding, or the unmet needs. Okay, what do you do in a case like this? Instead of focusing on only what happened, why not ask why? Okay, why did this happen? Okay, I know this may be difficult, but it's a high level of maturity on your part, and it's very rewarding. I must tell you. Recognize emotional triggers too. Some people deliberately want to look for your trouble. Okay, they just want to pull your legs. Okay, but what is really bothering you, or what is really bothering you or bothering the other person? And don't treat the symptoms. Address the real issue there. Don't just start. Looking for troubles here and there and start creating assumptions. Okay, this you there is understand before you are understood. Oftentimes we will no listen to me. You know that thing, right? When you say listen to me, no. You two, why not keep quiet a little bit and listen in this situation? And you don't have to agree to understand. Okay, so let me take that again. You don't have to agree to understand. Okay, you don't really have to agree, but you can understand, and then you will not still agree. I understand your perspective. Actually, when two drivers hit each other, and they come and say, "No, I understand your perspective, but I do not agree with you." So that's the method now. You don't really need to agree, okay, but you can just understand it. So that's your perspective, okay, okay, because you're coming from this background, that's why you behave like that. So understanding. People often soften their stance when they feel hurt, okay. When you tend to understand the other person and you realize that that person, okay, you've heard me, right, you will realize that tension will come down a little bit. So instead of preparing your response, listen first, then you can mirror the situation. Say, okay, okay, I understand what you're talking about. This is my own stand in this situation. It still keeps you there, and then you are validating their feeling. Yes, I agree with you that it's possible that when this happens to you, you can do this. But however, this is my own situation. I can't take this. It's not going to work for me in this context. Okay. So that is the you there. Understand before you are understood. And the S here is that seek common ground where it is possible. I said this earlier. Don't let it be me versus you in conflict all the time. Okay, there are some cases where you may not, but we are looking at general case now in workplace where you have a goal and things are clashing. But let it be us versus the problem. You have seen the problem, and we come together and address the problem. Conflict is often fueled by a mindset of opposition. Okay, can we take away the opposition and let's stand together and let's address what the problem is? Except where there is selfish interest here. Where there's no selfish interest, you will realize that you and the person you think you are fighting can come together and attack the real problem there. When we shift the focus from fighting each other to solving a shared problem, resolution comes faster. Okay, resolution comes faster. So identify the shared value there and confront the main problem there. So seek common ground is the S there. And the last C there is turn disagreement into agreement. So that's the path to resolution. The most successful professionals turn conflict into connection. Well, that's an opportunity for you to shake hands and say, thank you very much. We understand you now. And then things can be built better there. The goal of conflict resolution is not just to end the argument, but to build trust in the future. I mean, that's the reality there. It's just to build strength in the future. Let me quickly jump into this personal story. Something happened during the course of a particular project I partook in the last few days or weeks now, and I had a major problem in a particular state, and it was getting out of hand. I've done everything. I've even lowered my value a day before to make sure that okay, no problem, let's do it this way. Waking up in the morning, things were not going on the way it should go. Then I picked a call and I called the real principal of the job, and then he told me to call another person to report the case. At the point I looked at it, I said, if I keep on calling everybody. In a way, I am reporting myself in such a way that they will see me as an incompetent leader. So instead of me conflicting, so I took some steps back and I look at the situation. Okay, wait, what do I want to achieve? It's not just to gather these people, do this and do this. Can we start with them? So I have to approach it in a different way. Instead of me looking at those who are causing the problem, I really look at the problem itself. Then I started solving it. Later, like 2, 3 hours after, I got a message. Oh, how is it? I mean, the person I called, the supervisor, the main principal of the business now, called me and I told you, don't worry, I've solved it. And I explained why I didn't call again. That no, I don't want to be seen as incompetent. Now, this is the context now. When you keep on conflicting people and then you keep on, maybe you are winning. In a way, you are already creating an identity for yourself. One day you hear people saying that I don't mind that controversial person, and that is not too good for you. So when you find yourself in conflict, most of the time it is not weakness when you lower your shoulder or you solve the problem. It is actually strength because you are trying to build correct name for yourself. So use the framework we mentioned today, trust, and then you see that you are becoming a better leader. At times you keep quiet. At times you allow people to just let your things go. At times you give up, not because you are weak, but because you have that strength of character there. So quickly, let's take our practical steps today. If a disagreement arises today, I mean, I wish one will arise for you today. Okay, pause before you react. Okay, ask yourself what's the deeper issue here and listen before you respond. Probably I wish you rough road today so that you can test this. Now let's take our words of affirmation this morning quickly. I approach conflict with wisdom, not impulse. I seek understanding before seeking to be understood. I turn disagreement into trust building moments. You can say that again. I approach conflict with wisdom, not impulse. I seek understanding before seeking to be understood. I turn disagreement into trust building moment. Thank you for joining and watching to this particular point. Tomorrow, when we're going to be rounding up, it's mean at self-empathy, how to build sustainable success for yourself, or they call it the foundation for sustainable success for yourself, self-empathy. So empathy all about you. You don't want to miss that tomorrow. Thank you for joining today. Please drop your comment, what you learned. We just want to feel that you are present here. Thank you so much, and we see you as you solve the problem today, tomorrow. You share a testimony with us. Bye for now.